Episode 2 of my Consistently to Creating series. I'm working on my second theme, which is all about build your own plate lunch. This week I basically focused on a bunch of watercolor art. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amber and I own Artfully Divine, which is basically a small business all about art and stationery items. And if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link to my website in the description down below. I wanted to make episode 2 of my Consistently to Creating series. This series, I basically am in phase 1 of my entire market prep, which will be in July of this year. And if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. I basically talk about the 4 different phases of my plan so that I can go ahead and prep for my July pop-up market for my art and stationery shop. The items that I've basically focused on and created this week. This week I basically focused on a bunch of watercolor art. I'm working on my second theme, which is all about build your own plate lunch. I did this kalbi, which is short ribs, and I also made some lau laus. So when I create, I noticed that sometimes you don't have a lot of motivation to start creating, but once you do start creating, that's when a lot of inspiration and motivation kind of kicks in, and that happened with me on this specific item. So I made a lau lau, which is basically either pork or chicken wrapped in luau leaves, and then usually my uncle got steam it and you put it in like tin foil. That's this one. I liked how the colors turned out very much on this one, but I didn't really like the shape that much, so I got inspiration and thought, what if I just changed the colors a little bit, made it a little bit brighter, changed the sizing of it, and this one came into place. And I think I like this one a lot better. I like the shape of it. I like how it goes gradient from darker to lighter. There's a little smudge right here because that was a little accident that I did. I usually put this on it. It's a art masking fluid. And usually use this for watercolor because watercolor you go light to dark, and then every other mediums like acrylic or oil, you can do it however you want. Usually I go dark to light for a lot of those ones, but watercolor is completely different, and because you can't go lighter for watercolor, usually the paper is the lightest that you can get your watercolor to be. So if you mask it with this, it basically puts like a film over your paper, and because of that it keeps that area white, and then you can go ahead and just paint over it. And that's what I did right here. And unfortunately, because I painted over it, I didn't wipe it, and when I peeled off the masking fluid it kind of smeared. So that's what that is. Good thing I have digital art, so I'm going to clean that up and Procreate. The next thing that I worked on that I had a really difficult time with was Kahlua pig, and I don't really know how I'm gonna approach this one, but Kahlua pig is such a staple here. It's basically pork and cabbage and a bunch of different seasonings, but when I was making it in the moment, it looked really good when I was making it, but once I was done and I took a step back, I was just kind of like, what? That doesn't look like what I imagined in my head. So this was the very first one. Yeah, I don't know either. And then I was like, what if I just start over, like let me go ahead and take it a little bit, like make it go a little bit more fresh and more a little piece at a time from my reference photo. So that's what I did, and this one came into play. And I don't know, I think it looks a lot cooler than this one. This one just kind of looks like sticks, honestly, but this one's not really looking like Kahlua pig. It's not really giving, ooh, I want to eat that. I usually run a lot of my paintings through my boyfriend and sister test, where when I'm done with my painting, I ask them what they think it is, and usually they get it right. But if they don't, then I'm just kind of like, if they can't get it right, then I don't think a lot of people would get it right. These are the ones that I worked on this week. I also have this one, which I'm not finished. This is the very first go around. It's a loco moco, and if you're not familiar with a loco moco, it's something that I really enjoy. Me and my boyfriend made it like twice last week. It's so good. But it's basically rice, and then on top of that is a hamburger, and then on top of that you put egg, and you can either add whatever you want. You can add Portuguese sausage, you can add onions, mushrooms, and then the very top, just this brown layer, is gravy. I think the gravy doesn't look too gravy-y because you can't really see the egg in between, and usually you can see some egg. I don't know. Well, I'll just have to figure it out. I think I'll just have to like redo it, honestly, which is fine because watercolor is a lot easier and quicker to paint than a lot of other mediums like acrylic and oil. Also, I tried oil for the very first time yesterday, and I will be making a video of that, so that will probably be coming out next week. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to check that out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and then you'll be notified when that video actually does come out. Yeah, that's pretty much all I did this week, and I had a lot of fun. This past week I've been feeling kind of stagnant, and like my business hasn't been going anywhere, but I think that's because I'm just really focusing on making art. And because I'm really focusing on just making art in general, I think that I haven't really been putting a lot of energy in marketing, updating my website, updating my Etsy shop, and it's been kind of stagnant. So I've been feeling as though there hasn't been a lot of progress, but I keep having to remind myself that this is gonna propel my business forward because art is the basis of my business, basically. Also, I've noticed that I've been spending a lot of time doom scrolling, and that wastes a lot of my time. And because that wastes a lot of my time, I don't have a lot of time left over to focus on what I really want to focus on, which is creating stuff, creating art, creating content. This past week, I've been replacing the doom scrolling with more art, and that's why I have so many art pieces that I've been working on. It's so fun to just lose yourself in making art, and you can have something going on in the background. You could have a TV show, you could have music playing in the background, you could listen to a book, to an audiobook. I've been listening to The Midnight Library. That is literally opened my mind up. It's crazy. It basically talks about different lives for a person who committed suicide. So a really interesting read or listen if that's something that you're interested in. But after work, because I have a full-time job, it's really hard for me to have the energy and the time to fully immerse myself in my business because I already spent the majority of the day at work and working out at the gym. By the time I come home, I only have maybe 3 hours to myself. That includes eating, cleaning, getting ready for tomorrow, and my business. Realistically, I only have like an hour and a half just for my business. Lately, I've been wasting that hour and a half on doom scrolling when I could be using that time for my different hobbies. And since I've been replacing doom scrolling with my different hobbies, I feel like my life is more full. I feel more present. I feel happier. It's more of me living my life instead of comparing and wishing that it was something different. It's beautiful to be more present and to be in the moment, and it's crazy how your phone can really change that perspective. And if you are thinking of quitting doom scrolling and pursuing your passions, you're pursuing your dream or your hobbies, I encourage you to do so. And or if you just wanted to do more hobbies and you just feel tired, I implore you to work on it and just start off with the 5-minute rule. And basically this rule is you just start for 5 minutes and 5 minutes a day. And usually when you start with 5 minutes, you usually continue. But if you don't feel like continuing that day, that's okay. And just give yourself some grace because at least you did it for a little bit that day. And then tomorrow will be better and you can try it again the next day. And it just gets you into that habit of just starting, and then you'd want to finish it. So if that's something that you're interested, try it out. Try the 5-minute rule. Let me know what you think. And if that is something that you're interested in, it's helped me in the past for sure. It's more of like working out. So for me, the hardest thing about working out is getting to the gym in the first place. And then once you're there, you're like, might as well just do it. So you just work out, you know? Thank you all so much for being here. And if this is something that you enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help in growing this channel and this community. And until next week, I'll see you folks later. Bye. Thank you for being here.